Hi everyone, my name is Christina and I'm an implementation consultant at Prosymmetry. In this video, I will be reviewing how to create custom views in Tempus in both the project and resource management tiles, as well as the bulk project allocation flat grid. With these views in Tempus, you can customize the information in those views to create views that are specific to you as a user and the way you want to experience the system. You can also create global views that can be shared with all users or just a group of users. With these custom views in Tempus, you can export them in your project and your resource management views to Excel, which means that you can use the data in those custom views as reports. Let's start in the project management tile and take a look at where you can create custom views for yourself there. When I click into this project management tile, the first kind of view that would be custom to me as a user is with this folder icon here, which is my quick filter icon. If I click here, I can click on My Projects, and this system will automatically filter my project list to the ones where I'm listed as the project owner. You will also see in the project management tile this eye icon here. If I click here in the top right-hand corner, this is where I can see a list of the views that I have created previously. I will also see here my default view that's denoted by the star icon. When I click on default view, this is what I see. I can see my project list. I can see the columns that I have pulled in with the columns button here to pull in those attributes, like current phase, portfolio, project priority, is proposal, end date, and security group. When I click into this project manager's view that I had created previously, I can see my view changes to be organized in the way that I had set this up for myself. In this case, my projects are grouped by this project manager attribute. And if I click into each project manager, I can see the projects that fall under that project manager beneath, as well as the columns that I have pulled in, like start date, end date, and current phase. If I want to create a new custom view for myself, I can click on the eye icon and click Create View. I can click on New View, and I have a blank canvas where I can start to organize the data in the way that I want to. I can click on the eye icon and click the pencil to give this view a new name. And then I can pull in my attributes as columns here. I can group by attributes. I can filter out different kinds of projects to organize the data in the way that I need to for this new view. You'll also notice in my list of views, I can change my default view with the star icon to other views I've created, and I can choose to lock views. What this means is if I click on my project manager's view and I choose to lock it, that means anytime I add something or change something to this view, such as adding a new attribute, if I exit this screen and come back to the project management tile, I can see that because this view was locked, that additional column that I added is no longer there. It does not persist. If this view were not locked and I add an additional column and I exit the screen and come back in to that view, I can see that that extra column did persist. Now let's take a look at the resource management tile where I can do the same thing. When I come into the resource management tile, I can see that the first kind of custom view that's available to me is again with this quick filter icon here. And if I click on the My Resources option, the list of resources will be automatically filtered to the resources where I am listed as the resource manager. Just like in the project management tile, I have the eye icon here in the resource management tile where I can click to see the different kinds of views I have created for myself. So I have my default view, again denoted by the star icon, and I can see that these columns are what I have pulled in that I want to be here every time I click into this view. I can also see that I have created a resource manager's view for myself, which is rolling up all of the resources by resource manager. And if I click into each grouping, I can see the columns that I have pulled into this view. You have the same functionality available to you in this grid view as the project management grid, where you can change the default view with the star icon, you can lock views, and you can create additional custom views for yourself by clicking Create View here. Next, let's look at the bulk project allocation flat grid and the options I have to create custom views for myself here. So when I click into the flat grid, again, I can click on the eye icon to see the custom views I have for myself. I have a default view that is denoted by the star icon, and I can see when I click on the default view, the way that this information is being pulled in every time I visit this view. So my information is being grouped by resource name. If I drill down into each grouping, I can see the columns that have been brought in, and the date range persists as well. I can also see I have two other custom views here for myself that are both locked. One is my department, which looks like my resources are being grouped by resource name, and I have some different columns being brought in here as attributes. I also have a My Portfolio view, which is grouping all of the allocations by project name. So if I click into each project name grouping, I can see the resources underneath, my project name, and the task name here as attributes. These are helpful to set up if I want to organize my information in my flat grid by maybe a project management specific kind of view, and I want a quick view of all of the projects that I'm responsible for as a project manager, such as my portfolio. I can also create a resource manager specific view like my department to get a quick view of all of the resources I'm responsible for. You'll also notice that you have, again, the same functionality here where you can lock views, you can change your default view with the star icon, you can create additional custom views, and then you'll also notice I have this additional kind of view here, which is denoted by this eye icon called Resource Managers. This is a global view, and if you hover over the eye icon, you'll see Public View here, which means that this view was created by my Tempus administrator and shared with me. Tempus administrators do have the ability to create what we call global views in either the project management grid, the resource management grid, or the bulk project allocation flat grid. And they can do so by going to admin settings and clicking on view management. If you'd like to learn more information about creating those global views, I would check out the dedicated video on that functionality. This wraps up creating custom views for your Tempus account. I would encourage you to take a look at the Help Center section on this feature and the video on global views as well for an additional resource. Thanks and have a great day.